What's good? What's good? I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It, and I got my guy, Mr. What will he be today?
What's up, man?
What's good? What's good?
Ain't nothing. Trying to stay from going, keep from going outside.
Hey, I already hear you, man.
Man, I went
ain't trying to leave the house at all.
Bro, I went outside to get something out the car for my mama. I go out there and I get a laptop out the car. So I said, I'm gonna go out here, man, and really see what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm dealing with. I get my blowout, so I'm gonna blow a little snow out from around the truck. Bruh, that snow so thick on the ground, man. That snow came up to my ankle. When I put my foot in the snow, I had my boots on and just kind of wiggled it. And I just wanted to see how far it came up. That junk was all the way up, man, up to my ankle, bro. And then a nigga fingers was burning so bad, I thought I stuck them joints in some hot chicken grease. I said, nah, bro, I'm straight on that. I'm finna go back in the house, and we're gonna sit this one out.
I got them home defense bottles that you spray around the house for bugs and shit.
Yeah.
So I got one of them home defense bottles, like the big bottle joint. It was outside. That joint, you know how tall the bottle is, right?
Yeah.
That joint is under the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
The snow has bypassed that joint. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing you can see is the little nozzle peeking up from the top.
Yep.
But he has covered that whole bottle. I'm like, man, we ain't never got no snow like this. We ain't never got no snow like this.
Since the 80s. Yep.
Hey, right after you told me that, somebody else just told me that about 84. I was like, shit, I don't even remember 84.
Yeah, it was 84. Yep, it was 84 because my pops, man, you know, he old school, so you know they went to work like regardless, or at least they tried to go. You know what I'm saying? And man, that man car, he couldn't get home. He got stuck on Elvis Presley over there near Alson and walked all the way to my house, where you know my old house is. He walked from there. Yeah, he walked from there to the crib, him and his coworker, and then they stayed there. And then they got up the next day and walked back to the car and drove back to work. I said, man, y'all folks was either crazy or committed, one of the two.
Well, you got to get to the house.
Yeah, he had to get there, so he had a 76 Nova he was driving, so he couldn't get that junk home. He couldn't get that junk down. He couldn't get it down. Elvis Presley, because you know they healed down there.
I'm definitely not gonna leave it there.
Yeah, well he had to. Yeah, he had to. Well, there nobody bothered that junk though. But he was like, man, I had to get home. I couldn't sit out there and freeze. So he had to go on, leave that junk to come back. Well, yeah, man, let's get to it, man. I want to talk about this movie.
Man, snakes in the grass. That's all I kept saying. That's all I was saying the whole time when I watched this jump. Snakes. But yeah. We go ahead and get this jump popping. What's good? It was good. I am your host. Can you hear me pretty good? Cause I'm out here thotting in these streets, my nigga, and I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no microphones. No, nothing. All I got is motherfucking these pods and shit. So, yeah. What's good? It was good. I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It, and I got my guy, Ivan the Grizzly. This nigga got your face look fat in the motherfucker. Nigga. What you been doing?
Man, nut. I ain't been doing that. I look the same, man. I've been doing. I ain't. That's me. What's up, y'all? What's up?
The greats, and we are the Off on the Tangent podcast. Episode what is this? 72, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 72. Like to give a shout out to the listeners and the viewers. I know I've been missing the last couple of episodes, but I ain't forgot about you. I ain't forgot about y'all, you know. So, well, we ain't forgot about you, definitely. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you for continuing to take this journey with us, I guess you could say. And listen to us bullshit and talk shit. Because that's all it is, party and bullshit, like Biggie said. Speaking of bullshit, well, no, I can't start off like that because the movie was not bullshit. The movie was definitely not bullshit. What I'm talking about, or what we're about to talk about, we're gonna go ahead and get right to the joint. I'm sure we're gonna talk about some bullshit later on, but Judas and the Black Messiah. Didn't really know too much about. I didn't know too much about Fred Hampton. I will say right off the bat, I even confused Fred Hampton with Eldridge Cleaver. I was thinking that's who that was. Because, you know, all the time you see Black Panther movement, you see the nigga in that chair look like a throne, got the AK, and then he got the spear, the whole type of thing, whatever. So that's what I was thinking that was at first. So I will admit to my ignorance, thinking that's who it was. Both powerful people, but yeah. But the information that I do know about Fred Hampton was like the end of the movie. That was some fucked up ass shit. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go ahead to it. Sorry, people, if you haven't seen it, this is gonna be a whole bunch of spoilers through this bullshit. So you might want to fast forward or whatever like that, because we're gonna talk about this damn movie. I'm sorry to tell you, but would you take? Well, I know what I took from it. What'd you take from it? Because to me, it's a snake. It's a snake on your team everywhere, on anybody's team, and even from like Jesus, you got a snake in the grass.
Yeah.
And it's over some dumb shit. The reason why you being a snake in the grass in this incident.
So just for a little just for like a little context to the conversation, the movie Judas and the Black Messiah was basically the telling of or a little bit, not telling the story, but can I say a snapshot of the Black Panther Party experience in Chicago. Chairman Fred Hampton, senior rest in power, his rise to influence, his rise to power in Chicago during that time, which was, of course, it was a pivotal time in the country as far as race is concerned, and the Panthers, obviously, we know. And I think partially because we know about like the prominent, like you say, we know about the prominent figures of the party. We knew about Eldridge Cleaver. We knew about actually we probably heard more about Assata Shakur early in life than we probably did Chairman Fred Hampton, just simply because that was Tupac's aunt. You know what I'm saying? And because
our generation anyway,
yeah, our generation, and because Pac mentioned her in the music of Matula Shakur, much love and respect to all the political prisoners. So we heard more about that, and then so after getting older, I learned more about Chairman Fred Hampton. And after I went to college, actually, I learned a lot about him in college, going to HBCU. So, but the movie in itself was just a snapshot of that experience and about how and really more so about how the federal government, J. Edgar Hoover, infiltrated the organization. So his words were, it's our job to stop the rise of a black messiah in this country. Is the number one threat to, in his opinion,
that wasn't in the
of
movie,
freedom.
Though.
Yeah, it was.
Where was that in the movie?
Yeah, it was like towards the beginning when J. Edgar Hoover was talking, when the feds. Yeah.
Maybe I missed that whole part. Cause
yeah,
I don't
you gotta go back.
Hoover.
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover he spoke about it. He talked about downplaying or preventing the rise of a black messiah. You think about it, every black man that has been in any position of power or position of influence has always been taken down, especially in the civil rights era, because the number one threat to white supremacy was always the strength and power of a black man and also the black woman. So if the black man was, rose, they automatically put him on the list to be killed, taken out, an organization infiltrated. So the stories about William O'Neal, which was he wasn't a member of the party originally. He was he was a street hustler. He was a street thug, and so they used him to infiltrate the organization, which he was not the only one that was a part of or used by COINTELPRO. You know what I mean? And so seeing that experience, telling the story of him and also the story of Chairman Fred Hampton was actually important for people to know, because a lot of times when it comes to that part of history, the Panthers on a general scale get looked over because of their militants, because of what they talked about, but they actually added more to American social and socioeconomic importance than even, or just as important as people in the civil rights movement, because they're the ones that started the free food programs. You know what I'm saying? And so they're the ones that were feeding people. They're the ones that were talking about housing people and provide for people, that the state programs and the federal programs took over that and took that idea from them. You know what I'm saying? So they were the ones that were feeding kids, and they were the ones that were teaching kids arithmetic and English and so forth and so on. So that thing started with them. And so, just talking about, you mentioned about there being snakes and being people that infiltrate organizations, and even not just organizations, but in general, if you're a position of growth and you're a position of trying to do some things better in life, there's going to be some people, and I posted this last night, that for every Messiah, there's going to be a Judas. You know what I'm saying?
What you think of what you think of Lakeith Stanfield character? Well, who is he playing? The O'Neal dude? Is that what?
Yeah, William O'Neal. Yeah, Bill O'Neal, Wild Bill.
What you think of O'Neal in the movie? Well, one, man, dude, I think Lakeith played this character too motherfucking good, man. Two, I think this O'Neal dude don't like niggas. Let's be clear. He one of them he played a role in this movie or in this whole ordeal. I don't think he fuck with niggas. I don't think he liked niggas. He wanted them he was, to me, he was them type of niggas like you remember in Boys in the, well, you remember don't drink your juice in the hood? He was like, I hate my black lips. I hate that shit. He hate himself so much that he hate everybody that look like him. He's in there, he's in the pool hall robbing niggas of a car because they know a nigga ain't gonna ask no questions about somebody questioning them about stealing some shit.
Right. Right.
And then even at the end of the movie,
And I think
didn't
it's
show no remorse.
Well, I think it was a little bit of both. I think it was the fact that he was so when that happened, so for context, when that happened, he was 17. And you know what I'm saying? So at that time period, like he's on the street, he's stealing cars, he trying to get by, get whatever, right? But you got to realize, so you got to think about how COINTELPRO worked. COINTELPRO wasn't going to go after somebody that was already in the organization that they knew wasn't going to turn. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go after, they're going to use somebody that they can influence and infiltrate that's willing to do so or has a weakness somewhere. So think about in terms of what he was offered. So he was getting ready to go to jail, right? He was going to get 18 months for stealing the car, but he was going to get 5 years for impersonating a federal agent. So when he got presented with that, right, what did the cop say to him? He said, hey, you still in the car, you're going to get 18 months for that, but you're going to get 5 years for impersonating a Fed.
Their favorite
So
line.
his option.
You want to go to jail and want to go home.
Right. You want to go to jail or you want to go home. So obviously at that time, not only probably like, because, you say, when you hear like what you just described was all skin folk and kinfolk, he's probably already in the mind state of, man, it's me, myself, and I, right? Me for me, right? So then you add that with, I'm getting presented with, basically, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. What you think that he gonna do? He don't want to go to prison because he already know what's gonna happen when he go there. And if he say, nah, I ain't gonna do it, ain't no telling what they gonna do to me or what they gonna use me for. So let me go and take this deal because I want to go home, right? But it ain't the matter of me just going home. It's a matter of that cop groomed him for that job. You know what I'm saying? He groomed him for a long time and got him prepared to, because that's what they do. They teach you what to say. They teach you what to do. They tell you who to contact because they're like, look, if you dress like this and you talk like this, they're going to believe you. So you go and do this here. Now we're going to give you this little money. He started hanging around his family. Remember what that man said? That man said he became a father figure. That's what he said when he was talking about the cop. He was like, he became a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying?
The cop was a father. The cop was a father figure to him.
To him, that's what he said. Those are his exact words. He became a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying? They don't just go after anybody. They go after those people that they know have weaknesses that are willing to fall prey, or they fall prey because of their weaknesses or because of their lack. So they gave him money.
All right, but when you see better though, then what? You still
what
go
you
along
mean when
with
you
it?
see better?
Okay, he saw better.
So they weren't gonna kill him. If he decided I ain't gonna do this no more, they gonna kill him. Because again, had he decided at any point between when he made that agreement and even before, like in the process of infiltrating the organization, had he said, hey man, the Fed's paying me to do this, right? They would have killed him. The Panthers would have killed him because that's what they did.
I don't think they would have killed him. They probably, because he got in so deep, I think they would have let him go. I don't think they would have killed him. They probably would have discommunicated him and had no association with him whatsoever. But no, because if he ended up dead, there would have been another reason for the FBI to come running up through there because he dead now.
There were other. He was one of several informants for the government on behalf of JWILLDOESTV. He wasn't the only one. He was just the one that brought about the demise of Fred Hampton and got us close to him. The Panthers weren't nice dudes. The Panthers did kill people that they thought were snitches. They did kill people that they thought were involved with the government. They did kill people that they thought were involved with Chicago police. Like if you look at their history, they did that. You know what I'm saying? So he knew if they find out I'm a Fed, they gonna kill. And I think there was a point where he even said that if they find out, they gonna kill me. So he was at a point of no return. And it wasn't like he was going to call the government and say, hey, I ain't finna do this no more. Y'all got me messed up. I'm going to stand up for my people. He already knew what was going to happen with that as well.
Just end up missing on both sides. I mean, I'd just be like, man, I can't continue to do this. But
see now, and there were some people, there were some informants that did that wound up getting killed. That was like, hey man, this ain't right. I can't do this. Like I can't set somebody up to be killed. I can't set somebody up to be taken down when they doing something that's beneficial for me. It was several of them that wound up either dead or they wound up like trying to run or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, which it's a lot of those stories out there that haven't been told. But I think he was, after he got to a certain point, he just didn't care no more. Like he was like, look, they ain't done nothing for me. This dude done gave me money. They done put me in a situation that's better than what I was when I was stealing cars. And then when he gave him his own gas station at the end, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When they gave the man his own gas station, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, man, saying, hey, man, look here, job well done. And then he wound up killing himself because of guilt later on, and not to mention the fact that everybody knew his name.
Man, your son can't look at you, man. Some of it, you know what this mean to your people, and your son sees this bullshit. You be like,
exactly. So think about that scene. You remember that scene? What's the movie? I think it was Passion of the Christ when Judas killed himself.
Hell, the son would be like, damn, I'm the son of a snitch.
A well-known one at that.
Exactly. That'll fuck with you mentally, like you might be born to snitch. Niggas ain't gonna fuck with you because you the son of a rat.
Exactly. So that's the situation where, you know, when you at that point where it's like either you say no in the beginning and go on take the consequences, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it, you know, he a kid, he's 17, Fred Hampton 21, all of them was young. And you gotta remember, you know, back then, the young cats looked older, you know what I'm saying? They looked older than what they were. So you look at our pops and them, they pictures when they was young, they looked older on their pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Like
they all
look
right.
This nigga's 18. Like, damn, nigga, y'all are 18?
Right. So, man, you know, and they was forced to grow up a lot sooner than they really wanted to because of the conditions that they lived in. But I think, man, that, you know, this to me, though, is powerful because it shows that, like, for years, people denied COINTELPRO's existence, right? They denied it. Oh, man, the government ain't going to come after nobody and do this and all of that. Like, yes, they will. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they will. You know what I mean? And they have. Like, every major prominent Black figure from you name it, they've all been, like, on a list to be targeted, to be taken down. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, it's a lesson for the younger generation, even ours and younger, to see that, like, man, if you try to rise up and do something positive and raise the people up, this is what could possibly happen to you. You know what I'm saying? If they don't kill you, they kill your character, they go after your family, all this type of stuff.
I think, well, for one, I'll put like this. I think that John is possible to do. You just got to quit putting a face to this shit. Everybody want to be a front man. Like, there was an issue with Malcolm X. He was the fucking front man. You seen his face. You seen this nigga, and you seen power behind this man. You like, whoa.
Right.
I don't know about this.
Right.
The only power they need to be going on is what we can control. If you don't have a face to anything, you don't know where to bring it down.
Right. You don't know who to take down. You don't, like, you can only, you know, it's just like the ants. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like the power is, but you know, they said power to the people, and the power, if the people realize they got power, you ain't got to worry about a centralized figure because you can't take out all the people.
Because, yeah, once you start seeing who is the mover, the person who makes things move, get things moving, is like, all right, that's who we need to pay attention to right there.
Right.
Who is that guy? If you remove that out of the equation, yeah, that would have been so much bigger. But do you think it's well, no, I can't really say it about him because he did speak. He was always about the people on his joint. But do you think most of it, with some of the leaders, it's a narcissistic thing at the same time?
It can be.
Like you want good for your people, but at the same time, it's about me and what I'm bringing to the table and helping the people type of thing.
Right. And see,
do you think it is
was
a
something I
thing?
think. Yeah, I think it can become that if they allow it to be, because, you know, you have those who say, okay, man, I'm a die for this, right? And I think that's what happened with Dr. King was he got to a point where he was like, I really wasn't expecting to be in this position. But once he got to a point, he was like, I can't go back now. Like, I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go back to being a preacher at church. I can't go back to just being a pastor. I have thousands of people listening to what I have to say. And this is what I signed up for, and I got to go with it. And then at that point, I mean, the same thing was for Malcolm. Right.
I just can't do it. I can't go back to bullshitting. I got march ahead. Face ahead. But yeah,
man, you stupid. But yeah, they get to a point of no return. So, you know, then they have to make a decision. So, you know what I mean? And I like a lot of people don't realize that. I think that, you know, what happens is that they become, you know, if you think about it, look at it like this. Like most great leaders, they came out of some situation that produced them. You know what I'm saying? Like King's dad was, you know, he was an influential man, right? You know what I'm saying? And then Malcolm's dad was a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Other. Go ahead.
Go. Well, I was gonna say the other thing that I liked about the jump was the difference between Fred Hampton and O'Neal dude. Like, yeah, it was a distinct difference of one of the other.
Right.
Hampton, he took his time. He was like, oh, for real? Okay, all right. And I'm sure they probably threw some shit at him, and he served his time, right? The other nigga, he running away from some niggas he stole a car from, trying to get away, police hem him up, and then he get this, no, I ain't trying to go to jail.
Right.
And then trying to lead men to fight. And this is a nigga that's running from the fight, and you got Hampton right in the middle of the shit. It was just a stark difference. And how you can have a nigga on your team that's exactly like this. And you never know. Right. But it's like you should be able to ask the question, this nigga is never in the fight. He's never in the fight.
Right.
I would ask questions like,
but see, when you got something going on,
you're ready to fight, I don't never see you. Go ahead. Right.
So they the lead character, actually the lead actor, Daniel, oh my God, I can't think of his last name. I feel bad because I can't pronounce it. But the guy that plays Chairman Fred Hampton, which he did an excellent job.
Excellent.
He talked about his relations because him and Lakeith Stanfield cool. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, looking at him play that role, he was like, y'all don't realize how like uncomfortable he was playing that role because Lakeith Stanfield is really about the people. You know what I mean? Like he's really, really about the people. He was like, man, I had to applaud him because he's playing somebody totally opposite of what type of person he really is in real life. And he was like, man, that role was difficult for him to like pull off.
Because I could not stand that nigga in the whole
really
movie.
Become somebody he was not.
He did this shit because I could not stand that nigga in the whole movie. Yeah. Knowing that you because we're on the outside looking in and we know he a snake. You like this snake, you snake ass nigga.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
you see it playing, and see that's the thing from a historical perspective. We see it playing out in real time, and if you look at it, it was happening. No, we see it playing out. We see it playing out from a historical perspective. They saw it in that time. It was real time for them. You know what I'm saying? So we see it through a different lens. That's why, like for instance, and I use King. King didn't know Abernathy was gonna turn on him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know that, right? Like, but I'm sure he trusted Abernathy, but then Abernathy started telling about his women and his escapades and all this type of stuff. But then when Abernathy got in trouble for the same stuff, King stood up for him. But he turned on King. You know what I'm saying? You know? And so that was the thing, like seeing somebody and you know what and that was the thing for me. It was like, I knew what was going to happen. Like, that Fred Hampton dies in the end of this movie. You know that happens. You know what I'm saying? You know that happens. You just don't know a lot of the details that led up to that.
99 times, my nigga.
Dude, 99. And that's why when people used to be like, man, you know, the Panthers, they, you know, kill police and da-da-da-da-da. Man, I ain't saw now one true historical record that showed where the Panthers killed anybody. They all got trumped up charges. They all got blamed for killing folks that nobody presented evidence for. Like, they had witnesses and stuff that didn't even show up to the trials, and they gave these folks life in prison off of word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just because they wanted to lock them up. You know what I'm saying? Just because
they have them labeled as a terrorist group. Once they labeled as a terrorist group, they can say anything they want to.
They can say anything they want to say. So it was only a matter of time. When they pulled up, man, and shot that whole house up like that, they didn't stand a chance. Like, it was nothing that they could do. They couldn't stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? And so they pulled up like that. They fire off one shot. These folks fired 99 shots.
Right.
For one person.
Right.
They brought a SWAT team for one dude.
Imagine
how scared you gotta be.
I was gonna say they could have just, when they saw them all in feet, they could have just left. But I was like, no, they was already surrounded. Their whole spot was
already surrounded. The whole spot was surrounded, yeah.
Damn.
It was done. It was a done deal. It was a done deal.
I just would have went out shooting, man. I just would have went out shooting.
All I say, man, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what.
Because you know they're there to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because although they only shot one shot, a few of them niggas got shot and died there. Like, I'm looking at the nigga who got shot in the back of the legs and everything while they laying face down. I'm like, dude, like, if you know that them niggas is coming in there pretty much to kill you, fuck that shit. Like, shawty that was at the rooftop. She knew what it was. Man, fuck this shit. These niggas finna come here and blow this junk up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
I just, man, I I I say that it's probably one of the best movies that I've seen relate to the stories of that time, like in the details of it, and even them adding the PBS special at the end gave a lot of context to the character, that allowed people to understand what that was really all about. And so, like, even, man, like, it was just a great movie, man. It was just a great movie. It was a great movie.
It was. Lakeith Stanfield did that shit. And the reason why I say he did, when I say he did that shit, when they show that interview at the end of the movie of O'Neal and how smug he was at the end of that joint, even after how the history plays out and how smug he was, that's why I said he did that shit. Lakeith Stanfield did that shit because looking at that nigga then at the end of that movie, I'm like, damn, this nigga still a fucking dickhead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like he wasn't a rat in this whole part, and he tried to finesse how he described himself. He's like, well, you know, hey, I just wasn't a nigga on the sidelines in history.
Right.
What?
Right. Yeah.
So you want to be a rat in history? Okay. All right.
And then.
And you want to be the nigga who killed. You're the nigga who killed him. Not the police who came in and shot the nigga 99 times. You did.
Yep. Yep. But that's why he killed himself, though. That's why he killed himself. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it. The human psyche can only take can only take so much. And you could be smug and you could be gangster minded, but you put him to sleep. You basically pull the trigger yourself.
Right.
And then you say to yourself, why would I need to pull the trigger on this man? Why would I need to do that?
Exactly.
Why would I need to? Why, like, for what? A couple $100,000?
What he do to you?
Like,
what he doing to you?
What did he do? What did he do to you to make you hate him so much that you wanted to see him dead?
Right.
Did you not know they was gonna kill him? You knew who you was dealing with when you sat down. And even after, like when he got older, like you knew who you were dealing with. You dealing with people who don't care nothing about life. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about your mama. They don't care nothing about your family. They don't care nothing about you.
He could have found what they want,
and they're gonna use who they can get.
He could have found some kind of way to finesse that situation. Like, hey, Fred, hey man, I don't think you and your gal might want to spend the night here tonight. I heard a word from a bird or whatever.
Right.
Hey, hey man, don't spend the night here tonight, man. Hey, go spend the night at another little spot real quick. I don't trust these pigs out here. And then some shit pop off. He's like, oh, okay, cool. But man, yeah, that was a foul.
He signed. Yep, he was. He was. But yeah, man.
The point where he came in with the wire on.
Yep.
I'm always leery of a nigga who blatantly, loudly talks about illegal shit. Always be people, everyone listening. Always be wary of the nigga who is talking illegal shit publicly in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga is a rat. That nigga is recording you. That nigga he's listening to go and tell somebody else some shit. Be mindful of that nigga there. That nigga in your crew, we all got a nigga in your crew that's like that. That nigga is listening to everything that everybody's saying in the group, is going running and going telling everybody else. Watch that nigga.
That's
Nigga
why
be like,
that's why
hey
the
man,
older
so we going to smoke some weed tomorrow, man. We going to do, hey, y'all got some cocaine, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna do some cocaine when I go over y'all house, man. That nigga there, that's that nigga.
hey, that's why the older you get, the smaller your circle gets. You know what I'm saying? Because you start weeding out certain people because you know, like, what you talking about. Like, why you always talking about that out loud, bro? Like, that ain't a conversation you need to be had. Like, it's automatic.
We doing cocaine in public, my nigga? Is that what we talking about right now? We doing cocaine?
Look, I remember, man, being at the barbershop some years ago. I remember being at the barbershop some years ago. And it was a dude used to come in the barbershop, man. I never forget. He used to come in there, man, on his phone. He's coming there on his phone, talking loud. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting there, you know, I'm just getting my hair cut. I just sit there and wait till I get my hair cut like anybody else. And, you know, they in there talking about different sports, you know, different stuff, sports, you know, politics, whatever, relationships, whatever. This dude would always come in there on his phone. He always on his phone. He talk loud. Then he would put his phone down and be like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I got this little lick I just hit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, and me and a couple of the old heads that you just be in there, they just used to kind of, you know, raise their pay, you know, look up over their paper or whatever they had, a little magazine, and just kind of look at them.
You here to lick my nigga. Word.
Yeah. Yeah. And then used to just keep on doing what they doing. So I used to just be sitting there. My barber at the time, he would cut his eyes at me and be like, check your boy out over there. You know what I'm saying? He'll be out on his phone talking. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, man? I got this little thing coming in, man, Thursday. And we're gonna go on, man, you know, take care of that, you know what I'm saying? And everybody gonna
niggas that trying to get touched.
Exactly. So we sitting there listening like, so he would get his hair cut. He's sitting in there getting his hair cut. He fresh, you know what I'm saying, whatever. He like, yeah, man, I got this little work, man. I'm getting off, man, and da-da-da-da-da. So ain't nobody asked him none of this. So this other young cat that used to be in there, he was sitting by him one day, and, you know, he started kind of engaging in the conversation. I tapped him on the leg and said, be quiet, man. He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He cool. I said, no. I said, you need to be quiet. I said, be quiet. I said, man, let him talk. I said, you let him talk and you listen. I said, man, don't say nothing. Don't tell him nothing about what you got going on. I said, don't say nothing else. He like, man,
police ass nigga,
big bro, you know. I said, because dude had got his haircut and left. I said, man, dude, I said, anybody that's doing anything, I don't care if you doing legit business, you don't need to be out loud talking what you got, because, man, anybody waiting to listen to what you got going on to touch you, bro. I said, that's why, man, you don't come up being all flashy, because you look like, you know what I'm saying, you look like food out here, bro. And it's a lot of hungry folks out here, you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of wolves out here, my nigga.
It's a lot of wolves out here, bro. I said, man, so, I said, man, that ain't you dude out here on his phone talking loud about what he claimed to be business. I said, man, dude probably police, man. I said, he probably
it
police.
Might be bait.
Exactly.
That's a bait.
A little while after that, came back. I was still going to the barber shop, and it was around the time my hair started getting done, so I wasn't going often. I would just go and get lined up or whatever, and then get my little mustache and stuff done. Right. I go in there. I was like, I asked my barber. I said, hey, man, what happened to old boy? Man, what's the? He was like, man, I don't know, man. He left town, man, about 2 months ago. Like, ain't nobody seen it. Like, for real? He was like, yeah, man, left town, man. His gal came in here looking for him, all this. I said, he was police. Everybody said, yep. I said, nobody come in talking loud about street business, man. I said, man, what's wrong with? I said, what's wrong with dude, man? He's like, yeah, he was trying to get up. So that's what it be like. Yeah, exactly. He was trying to get somebody else. And I heard a story too. I ain't gonna say no names. And I think we talked about this before, but it was a couple of people. It was a cat that was in jail. It was a cat that was in jail, and it was another dude that was trying to do business with him, and he owned a record label, very, very, very famous record label, very famous record label, and he would call this cat in jail to talk about street stuff. And another cat that's highly respected, told the homie in jail, like, hey man, you don't never think why this dude call you every time he call you, he trying to talk street stuff on the phone to you in jail?
That's being recorded?
You don't think wrong? You don't think something wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? And they kind of had a little disagreement about it. And he was like, nah, you probably don't need to be like, I don't mess with dude, because whenever he call, he always trying to talk street stuff. Like, bro, don't you realize these folk listening to our conversation? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know, you do what you do because you your own man. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just letting you know that since when did we talk business on the phone like that? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like, you know, so I always, when I heard that,
you know what?
Like, I heard some cats like that.
I'm gonna pause because I don't think people are aware of that. So let me just say this. People, the people that you have conversations with when you call somebody downtown, when you call somebody at the Pentaform, whatever, all of them conversations is recorded. All of them.
Every single
when that nigga, soon as he get down and put in the lockup joint, when he calling to get some bail money, that shit is recorded. All of this shit is recorded.
Yep.
So just be mindful of what you talking about on the phone. Like, hey, baby, you know the drugs and the money is up under the mattress. Hey, move that shit. Get the drugs, sell the pack, and go bail me out. That bitch gonna go to jail. Cause they already heard the shit. And you wonder why you still locked up. She locked up there. I watched some dude do that shit one time while I was in lockup. And I sat there and I was like, dude, why are you talking business on the phone, man? This nigga talking straight business. I'm talking about eights. I'm talking about O's. On the phone. On the phone. He thought because he was close. He thought because he was close to the phone and whispering, nobody hear it. So I'm like, okay, he whispering the shit. All he doing is making it more precise for the people on the phone to hear it. Sorry, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Oh man. Everything is recorded on those payphones.
Yep, every single thing recorded on that.
It is recorded.
Yep. It's all recorded, man. And so that right there, man, had me tripping. Cause like dude was just coming there talking loud. I'm like, bruh. Like, you don't know who in his man, what's wrong? But then I thought, like, oh, if he talking loud like that, that means he trying to catch somebody else on something. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get somebody else.
It's one of two things. Either he police or he a green ass nigga. Now, but you don't want to take a chance on the green nigga. Some people do take the chance on the green nigga. Right. Some people will take a chance on the green nigga, but that green nigga sometimes can be packing. He green, but he packing. Or he green, but he police.
Right.
He's trying to make himself look green.
Right. Exactly.
And that be the thing, man. Y'all need to study these niggas before y'all just out here just trying to run and gun a nigga.
Man, them days over with. Them days been over with, dog.
Man.
Them days been over with. I don't even understand why. Just like, man, the whole Tekashi situation. Like, man, and I think I shared my thoughts on, Tekashi being a snitch.
Oh, well, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought he had did some new shit or something.
But, Nah. And I've always said that Tekashi was working for them people from the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
Like he got sent to do that. Like it wasn't no shock. Like when he went and did what he did and the way he gave up names, and I was like, dude, that's what he was in the rap industry for. Like that was the whole point. You know what I'm saying?
So question. I ain't saying I'm starting to believe, but what do you think about the shit Ja Rule has been saying since the beginning of time about 50 Cent? And the only reason why I say that is because he has been, we've talked about this before, about his association with rats.
Yep.
Even though he made birds of a feather flock together, one. Two, it's not a coincidence you got so many rats around you. Like, how is it possible you have more than one rat around you?
Hey, you know what's interesting about what you just said? When I watched the special that they did when they was interviewing Irv Gotti, and when he talked about when the feds came in and took all that stuff, and he still like Irv got respect from people. Like Irv got respect from a lot of people. Yeah. And so I listen to what Irv got to say because Irv been in the industry a very, very long time.
Irv was like, dude, we Dame Dash, and you ain't gonna listen to the Dame Dash.
Yeah, exactly. And so Irv was like, bruh, like I know who, you know what I'm saying? Like I know who really do whatever. But he was like, dude, we wasn't on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't on no street type of stuff or no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, we was businessmen. He was like, we was doing our thing with Def Jam and Jay and Dame and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't no, like we all, but they weren't in the street business no more. You know what I'm saying? Not in that, no, they weren't. No, for real. No, let's keep it real. Not at that point in time, they were not.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. They were money laundering.
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
There was a big corporation that was laundering money. But they was flipping. Yeah. So
yeah. But when they got to a point where the music was making what they needed to make, they weren't doing that type of stuff no more. Because what happens is you drawing bad attention to your business, and then you all get took down.
But you can do it more. You can even do it more so now. You can launder a whole. I put it like this: it's just like when you watch Power. When he opened up the club, he can wash a whole lot more money than he could before because he didn't get way more successful with the club. Once you get a whole lot more successful, I can wash a whole lot more money. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but I also get a lot more. I also get a lot more eyes on me, and it's a lot bigger risk. And then not only am I going to lose both in both games, and not only can I lose in one game, now I'm going to lose in both games if I get caught. And that's what Ghost's whole game was. Dude, let's leave this right. But what I'm saying, that's what Ghost's thing was. We don't need the streets no more. We got legitimate businesses. We don't need that no more. We can stop doing that and still do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was the whole thing about even what Jay rapped about. He was like, I no longer kill my people. I raise mine. I'm the Solomon me in this modern day time. I did my street stuff, but now we don't do that no more. And so when the feds went in and got Irv them, he was like, dang, like, what is this all about? Why is this dude always associated with something that's got to do with taking somebody else down? Like, have y'all noticed this dude always around people that's either communicating with police or are police? Have you ever thought why he called himself 50 Cent in the first place? When we used to call 50 was police. Back at one point in time, 50 was called police.
It was. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't always. There's been a lot
I
of
still call
names.
50. I still call him 50. What you talking about?
50, 12,
Hawaii 50.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when I'm like, man, over a period of time, you start noticing different associations. You like, hold up, bro, who you with?
Hey, you use 50 cents to make a phone call.
Right. Right. Right.
No,
that's why I always wanted. Yeah, I know.
Before that shit was free. Before that shit is free now, so they can monitor all of your calls.
Right.
When you went down there, son, they left you with change. They took all your shit and they left you with change so you can call.
So you can make the phone call. And it took 50 cents to call.
2 quarters.
That's terrible.
All I'm saying is 50 did a very good job smearing Ja Rule, Irv Gotti.
Yeah, he did.
Murder Inc. to the point where anything they say look and sound like clown shit. He did a very good job. Because anytime they come out and say anything, you like, look at these clown ass niggas right here. What they got to say? It just make them sound weird. It make them sound bitter. Right. But you just subtly just look at little shit. You're like, hold on. This nigga was, you brought up Tekashi 6ix9ine. This nigga was buddy like this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
They were like this. He was damn near calling this nigga his son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was a rat.
Yeah.
Like some real life Donnie Brasco shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And ain't nobody
to top it off that this ain't the only rat nigga he was associated with. This is just the new shit. It's like 3 other rat niggas that has been tied to him. You like, hold on, okay. Is Ja Rule really telling the truth? maybe we, like Dave Chappelle said, maybe we do need to see what Ja Rule got to say. Maybe we do need to listen what Ja Rule got to say. Shit.
Man, that's wild, man. That's wild.
Cause I like, although I'm not keeping up with it, I keep going back to certain shit. I'm like, hold on, another nigga associated with this nigga? Huh. Okay. But nobody ever really brings it up. That's the other crazy thing about it. As much as you have social media and they always pull up niggas' receipts and shit like that, don't nobody bring that shit up.
Well, because they know, for one, 50 got a lot of pull, and as far as social media goes, he goes at whatever links he can to try to embarrass you and troll you on social media. If you notice that, like with anybody that publicly disagrees with him, like he go dig up whatever stuff he possibly can to clown you.
Dig up your old porn collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like think about it. Cause you remember what he did with Buck, right? So Buck get into the little situation he get. Instead of 50 paying the man his money, what'd he do? He took that and ran with it and promoted it to the point where like Buck was about ready to give it up. Like this man was like, bruh, why you do me like what I do to you? You owe me money, dog. Like for real, this how we gonna do it?
But 50 was like, do I really owe you money, my nigga?
Right.
That's how 50 be like, do I really owe you money, my nigga? All this money I
Right.
put into you, I don't owe you no money. So I'm gonna
Right.
blast your ass.
So I'm gonna blast you. Like listening to that story, tell that story, I was like, dude, like, why did you even need to do that, man? Like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now I got questions about, you know, like, you know, and I like Buck, don't get me wrong, but if I'm Buck, I ain't just signing up to meet just nobody just anywhere, bro. Like I ain't doing that. And I know I'm young Buck. Like, nah, son. Like I'm not meeting nobody that I ain't never met before in no room. I ain't doing it. Like I ain't doing that now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that now. You know what I mean?
Man, I'll say this. I'll put it's some weird shit that go on in the music industry, man.
I know.
It's some weird shit that go on in the music industry. That's all I'll say. That's why I stepped away, man. Nigga, like, all right, so I heard a story about this and I didn't believe it one time. But I too, well, I ain't gonna say I too. Yeah, I was approached the exact same way, and I was like, nah, my nigga, I'm straight. Niggas will approach you in a way in the music industry. Niggas be trying to get their dick suck off their shit, man. Like I can understand you be trying to. I understand like niggas, like if a nigga trying to come up, he want to get his music heard, or he's trying to get signed to a label, shit like this.
Right.
Niggas be trying to get their dick sucked off of that shit. Oh, you want to get heard? How bad you want to get heard, my nigga? What you mean? What are you talking about? I feel like that. I heard a story. I heard a story. Allegedly, Diddy, that one time he was in his office getting his dick sucked by a dude. Secretary came in, watching him getting his dick sucked by a guy who's wanting to sign on to the label. The girl is asking him, "Why didn't you want me to leave the room? I want you to see how much power that I have that I can get this dude to suck my dick." I was like, man, whatever. I don't believe that shit. Until you start seeing niggas proposition you with that shit. You like, man, get the fuck out of here. So, Mastermind didn't come out with no album. Man, no. If this is what's going on, it's like payola or some motherfucking sexual favor shit.
Right.
These niggas is weird, dude.
Man, so to your point, I heard I was listening to an interview, and I'm gonna have to find it because I think I got it saved on my YouTube. I'm trying to remember who it was, but like you said, it's either payola or it's some physical that they want. And I done heard plenty of stories about the couch. Like my older sister, yeah, all that. My older sister has told me stories about why she never went further in the music industry because of stuff that she heard and then got approached with later. And she was like, oh no, I never sing. I go do something else for a living before I let you do that to me. You know what I'm saying? And how different people come up in doing that, and then they have zero respect from anybody later on in their career, because that's how they did it. They slept their way to the top. They did whatever. Or you have those people that you can see how they're super talented and it takes them a lot longer to get put on or a lot longer to get on or whatever. And they be like, that's why it took me longer, because I wouldn't take them shady deals, or I wouldn't been over for nobody, or I would just give folks my content, give them my music. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different songs that folks done wrote that these bigger name artists took from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm gonna put you on, but give me this verse right here real quick. And then they rap the verse on their song that somebody else been rapping on something else. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff.
I'm like this. I understand more as far as why some of our greats, who we feel, not the greats that you see in the public scene, but some of your greats that you feel is great, never get to come out or never get to pop. Right. Because they be on some other shit, man. And but that question be like, are these other artists who popping? Is that what they going for to get on? Oh, well, Wayne, I don't know. Wayne did this shit with Baby, so.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. That shit. And they made it public like this shit was acceptable.
Right. Right. But see, that they always put it like, hey, it's a price to pay for anything. Right? That's how it's always presented. And my thing is, bruh, you gotta have standards in everything that you do.
You do.
You gotta have boundaries. You gotta have standards. Like you gotta be able to look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning and say, man, look, what price am I paying for this little cheese? You know what I'm saying? What price am I finna pay for this little cheese? Like, is it worth what I'm getting or what's getting taken from me? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you still not getting what you supposed to get paid.
You are not.
You ain't getting what you still ain't getting what you owed or what you worth. You still ain't getting.
You are just being
seen. You know what I'm saying?
You are just being seen and you not getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just putting you in front of the camera now where you can be seen. But that's it. Yeah. And you done signed your life away. So I understand. I understand and see now why you have so many artists who done committed suicide, who done retired, who all of that shit. I understand why you hear people say Hollywood, the music industry, is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
It's for real. Because if you don't know how to maneuver through that shit, man, these niggas is weird and crazy.
If you don't show up and you remember, think about what you said a little while ago. If you ain't a street entrepreneur and you got the money to front yourself, you know what I'm saying? Where you can go in the door and be like, man, I got 200,000. I don't need your money. I just need distribution. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I need. Like, I don't need, like, that's right. That's why I respect the J's, Dame and Master P and all the folks like that, and Tony Draper and them. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Speaking of Master P, have you been seeing the movements that nigga been making lately? Have you been seeing all these products that he got?
Oh yeah.
The Hootie Hoo-Ohs, the noodles, This nigga got everything popping right now as far as food goes.
Yeah. Which is very smart because think about consumer foods right now. Consumer foods right now.
Chips, he got cereal, he got ramen noodles, he got instant oatmeal, he got syrup, he got pretty much everything that you can buy on the counter. It's a masterpiece something.
Right.
That shit dope.
Think about what peace idealism is, right? Peace idealism has always been, and I saw an interview with him the other day. He was like, man, look, I don't own nothing, but I control everything. I manage and control and operate everything, but I don't own it. So if something happens, I can't get nothing taken from me. It's a company that I'm managing and operating. Now, what my name can be, or my likeness, or a name that I came up with, right? They can be on something. So if something happens, I'm personally not affected by it. The company may be affected. And guess what? I can just go and start another company if need be, right?
LLC
companies are expendable. Right. And so, but looking at the consumer goods ideas that he's come up with are genius because, for one, he can get them made and processed and shipped relatively fast. The prices on them are not going to be crazy. You can still feed people. You can put those items in small grocery stores and big chains, but being able to do that, you still giving options for people who not able to get food at certain areas. And I even heard him talk about the pricing of it. He was like, I want to put it in places where people can afford to buy it, where it's not super expensive. And then what happens is when you create additional options as far as shelf space is concerned in grocery stores, it affects pricing. So now you got other brands that got to drop their prices to match what you selling yours for. That's just as quality and just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I will say I haven't seen it. I will say I haven't seen it in
situation.
our grocery stores or anything like that. But
not yet. Yeah, not yet. Right.
You know, it might be probably like in something like in the Save-A-Lot or Aldi or something like that.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet, but there, just the simple fact of that and seeing that, that's dope.
Yeah.
Just the simple fact of, I think what he needs to start doing, because I think that information is not given to us, is how can we find distribution? Because it's so many people out here who have a product, but we don't know how to get it distributed. Right. We don't know where to go to get distribution. Right. We don't know where to go to get the, even if it's just a simple fact of somebody being able to white label your shit. Like you sell a product, like it's your product, but somebody else putting their label. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's your shit, but they put their name on it. You know what I'm talking about? So you can make money that way.
Right.
So I think those conversations need to be had more from somebody like him, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because like somebody like us, we can have that conversation, but it's like, man, these niggas just having a conversation. But it is possible. We just need to find a distribution person who's willing to fuck with you.
Right. So, and as it pertains to that, as people like him get more into that industry, like I'm sure because of what he was able to do in music, what he was able to do in media, what he was able to do in movies, what he was able to do matter of fact, what he was able to do in the cell phone industry. Because remember, Master P did cell phones or pages at one time. You know what I'm saying? And so he's been in just about every major industry that you know of. So with this one here in particular, especially, like I'm pretty sure like he's getting the game on distribution just as well as the retail aspect of it and sales and branding and so forth and so on. Because like you said, distribution is really where it's at. Because when it comes down to products and so forth and so on, like I'm good with selling it locally, right? But what allows my company to grow is when I'm able to put it in Jackson, Mississippi, Charlotte, North Carolina, when I'm able to put it in Atlanta stores, when I'm able to get it into the Midwest. Like I may not even be able to sell it across the country, but if I can expand my product at least to the 5-6 states around me, like that helps me out. But I need a channel in which to do it for, you know what I'm saying? And it's really about access, right? Mass production and access. And that's really what it's always about. It's always about access. That's one of the most important aspects of it, especially with a product is having access. It's having access. Those resources. Okay, is there a facility where I can house my stuff? Is there a facility where I can mass produce? Is there a facility where I can store it? Is there trucks to pick it up? Who can I trust to take this from point A to point B and get there in a timely fashion? And then when it gets there, who's going to stock it for me? Is it going to be priced right? And then people will be able to buy it. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Master P, man. Like 100,000%, you 100,000% correct. Like Master P is really doing some big stuff. Like even at, like he's showing, he is one of the truest aspects of entrepreneurship that we've seen come out of and believing in yourself, taking the chances, trusting your own good, going and play. Because I remember I'm listening to him on Drink Champs, and he talked about going to LA and not even knowing what colors to wear, being from New Orleans. He was like, man, we ain't had no gangs in New Orleans like that. So, you know, we had neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? And if you remember coming up, it was more about neighborhoods than it was about being in a gang. You know what I'm saying? And
but I don't know, certain neighborhoods was just strictly one gang, though. Like certain neighborhoods was just all red.
Right.
Like,
okay, right. But that was just, it wasn't like how Cali was, you know what I'm saying, at that particular time. So he was like, man, I'm walking in neighborhoods and I got on the wrong color. And I don't even know I got on the wrong color, but I'm trying to sell my music. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, folks walking through like, hey, bro, what you doing, man?
It's funny how you say this shit. It's funny how you say this shit. I'm just trying to get him to sell. I'm just trying to sell my music. You sound like old boy on Martin. Trying to sell my music. What you know, looking ass nigga.
Elroy Preston. Okay.
Oh boy.
But yeah, him talking about that, he was like, man, I was taking a chance because he was like, man, I'm a businessman. I ain't here for none of that other stuff. I ain't trying to disrespect y'all, but I'm here to sell my music. And they like, hey man, this you on the post over there? And he like, nah, that ain't. He was like, nah, that ain't me, man. I'm just selling the CD. And he was tripping. He had me tripping because he was like, man, you know, I just knew, man, I wasn't there for all the other stuff. I was there to sell my music. He was like, next thing I know, man, I had a line of folk buying CDs for me, like with whatever color on. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, once you able to get your stuff out there, you good. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody gonna like it. Somebody not gonna like it, but somebody gonna like it. Somebody gonna love it.
I think with our issue, us black people, is a lot of times it's just needing and seeing that example that shit, you actually can get your shit on the shelf. And in all honesty, until Master P, I mean, I'm sure there have been other examples, but
oh yeah, it's plenty.
It's rare and it's not shown publicly. I'll put like that. And because I put like this, we know someone that shit ain't public, like how she got her business popping. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't no story about, ain't no real story about how the business got over. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Bubba Bistro. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, ain't nobody getting into deep, nobody's shining a light to that. Just like nobody shines a light to that with Master P. Master P bring the light. Hey, come over here. Look over here. This is what's going on. You too can do so-and-so, so-and-so. So when you see that, it be like, oh, you know what? Because if you think about it, real talk, all dope boys should be, if they ain't selling dope no more, them niggas should have the most thrivingest businesses.
Yeah. Right.
But most of them don't have the most thrivingest businesses.
Right, because they don't know how to.
Because they don't, outside of dope, they can't believe that they can sell other products.
Right. Because see, not all dope boys are salesmen. You know,
and they don't believe in their product outside of dope.
Yeah, not all of them are salesmen. Some of them just situational success because of the demand at the time.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why 95% of dope boys don't make it out successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Like, that's why most of them don't make it out successful, because most of them ain't salesmen. They not real businessmen. They're businessmen of the moment and of the situation. But once the demand for that changes, can you create a demand for something else, or can you supply a need for a demand in another area? No, they can't operate in it.
Creating the demand for something.
Yeah.
But Like even Master P, he really ain't creating a demand for something. He's just putting himself in the lane to be chosen of options.
Right. Right. But see, there's already a demand, right? Because people gonna eat, right? You know what I'm saying? And so those items that he's using, the cereals, the pancakes, the syrup, the noodles, those are items that are already in demand. So what he says was, hey, if such and such and such got this amount of shelf space, I can get this one item with one slide on the shelf space, and I can sell just like they can sell at a competitive price with my name on it, and it's a black-owned company, and I can get it mass produced.
And see, with his situation, I'm sure it's not a product that he's making. It's something that he fucks with, and see, that's the thing. It's like trying to find. It's either getting your own product mass produced or finding something that you like to a point and invest in it.
Yeah.
And putting your name on it and getting it sold.
Right. Right, because his name is going to sell stuff. You know what I'm saying? Master P's name is going to sell stuff. You know what I mean? It could be like whatever. Like his name, like as far as a branding is concerned, like his name is a name that people recognize.
He just linked up with Ray J trying to sell them they just did a deal about sending them Raycon earbuds. Everybody laughed at that nigga about this shit too. When Ray J was doing the little earbud thing, the Raycon shit.
Yeah.
Then I started looking, I'm like, hold on, this nigga having this commercial playing doing football games. This nigga having this commercial playing doing a Super Bowl. And then like these niggas be laughing at Ray J. This nigga be hustling on the low and be making money, man. And once I start seeing this shit playing during the Super Bowl, I'm like, hold on, this nigga got something here, man.
Yeah. But that's normal though.
Like
everybody gets.
I just heard the little, I ain't gonna say merger, but him and Ray J and I want to say somebody else are going into business with the earbuds and something else. I want to say.
I mean, people recognize opportunities. You know what I'm saying? They recognize good opportunities, and that's. I think that's what keeps a lot of people, like some of the most successful people, that's what keeps them successful because they recognize good opportunities. You know, it may not seem like one at that particular time to some people, but they studied this particular industry and they've studied what good opportunities look like. And they be like, okay, I don't have to be Apple. I don't have to be Samsung. I don't have to be Jawbone. I don't have to be Beats by Dre, but I can be a part of Raycom. I can be a part of this other company and produce the same product at a better price, which makes it more appealing and make the quality just as better. Now you have another option out there. And with how many ever billions of people it is on the earth, like that gives me just it may be a small segment, but a small segment of 3 billion or 10 billion or whatever that number is.
Right.
Like I'm still gonna be straight. I may not have the top spot.
2% of 100. 2% of 170 million is still a whole lot of fucking money. You like,
right?
Hey, so
exactly.
You just need 2%.
So yeah, I mean, and that's why when it comes down to now, especially having the internet, and internet gives us distribution, and especially using free apps or apps that cost a little, and you're able to put out content, you're able to put out products, you're able to offer services, you're able to sell 24/7 without having to pay for, like not having to go to a station or call a radio station and say, hey man, I need to pay y'all, $100 for 30 minutes of ad time throughout the week, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they still do that, but you don't necessarily have to do it. You can get on it, you create your own channel, you create your own distribution by doing so. You know what I'm saying? And you could sell, like, if you had, like Beats by Jay, you know what I'm saying? Like you had yours, you got a picture of yours on the podcast, on the show, you put them on your page every day, somebody gonna hit you up and be like, hey man, how much them Johns cost? What they all about? Do they work? Can you wear them outside? Can you wear them in water? Whatever. And you may sell 500, right? You know what I'm saying? You may sell 500 out of the 500,000 that another company has sold, but you still got distribution and you still making your money. You know what I'm saying?
It's the instantaneousness of it all, if that's even a word. It's I want it right now. I want to be seen now instead of just building things up. I want to be seen now. I want to do this now. I'm ready now. And I think that's what it all really comes down to. Is wanting to get an avenue someplace where you want to be seen now. Or do you want to build up your product?
I mean, you gotta have patience.
Because even like Master P ain't in it to just like trying to get now. It's just I'm getting my option out there. Yeah. And if you get as long as you get your foot in the door, and like that's why this whole thing with the podcast, like me doing a podcast, get your foot in the door. Once you put your foot in the door and start doing shit, you're gonna start seeing other shit in other avenues to maneuver and loving the shit that you just started doing too. Cause like I was pussyfooting around with the podcast. Then when I started doing it, I'm addicted to doing this shit. I like doing this shit. But doing it now, open up other avenues, wanting to do other shit is also bringing avenues, networking with other people who opening up other doors for you or opening up your eyes to other shit.
Right.
So yeah, it's just some fact. I get it now. A lot of times we don't get look at shit, but I get it now. It's just a simple fact of just doing it. Once you do it, you gonna fuck up. You gonna fuck some shit up. You gonna be like, damn, I did that wrong. Damn, you know what? I spent way too much money than I had to.
Right.
So yeah. I'm digging.
Growth is all about learning, man.
I'm digging the space that we are in, us, Black people, where even to the point of publicly speaking of your mistakes, and letting people know, hey, I fucked up, but hey, here I am. Because I remember it was a point where we was talking bad about Master P going bankrupt, this, that, and the other, all this other type of shit. Oh, he the new Tank now, all this, and now look at this nigga.
Yeah.
This nigga got sons playing ball like Alonzo Ball, like LeVar Ball and shit. All of it. So it's like, it's cool to see it. Before, we weren't privy to the information. The powers that be kept that under wraps. And the only thing that came was negative shit.
Right.
You wouldn't see the business moves. You wouldn't see the things that they would try to attempt to do unless it was the cookie cutter nigga that they wanted us to see. Right. So I think all of this is dope. It's been really dope. It's been really dope to see. And like I said before, because real talk, it's been a lot of that shit that I've been wanting to do, but didn't think that nigga could do. And all honestly, I'm being real talk. Like, oh man, nigga can't come out with no fucking cereal. So look at this nigga, Hootie Hoos. It's like you could taste the product. You're like, man, I can make better ramen noodles than this. This nigga got his own ramen noodles. So it's like when you see that shit down there, you look like This nigga took his head out. This nigga like Gilly the Kid.
Man, no, you did, bro. No, you did.
Oh man, that shit was hilarious. Oh man.
Gilly looked like a shaved mongoose.
I'm sorry, sir. Oh man. As soon as you did, you took your hat off. I was like, man, this nigga look just like him real quick.
Man, that man took his hat. I saw him take his hat off on one part, man. I dropped my phone. I was like, man, what is wrong with this man here? And you know, he be talking crazy. He's like, and you know what? And you know what?
Can shit. I always be talking can shit.
Oh man. Oh man.
I got a question. While
All
we was on the while we was on the music shit. Who is or was who was bigger, Snoop or Pac? Tupac? I saw this question and
It's funny you asked.
I saw this question before and I was like, I think this is a question that we should have because I don't think people really even question this. Who was bigger? Who do you think is bigger, Tupac or Snoop?
So just for quick context, so we talking at the time they were both rapping like at two of America's Most Wanted time.
Yes.
At that particular time, Snoop was the bigger artist. Snoop was the bigger artist, easily. The reason why we talked more about Pac was because of a lot of his dealings outside of music.
His movements.
Like his movements and, you know, his run-ins with the law, his beef with Biggie and them, like all of that.
Hitting on the media, all of that shit.
Right.
Yeah. All of his
all of his antics outside of, if you remove that from a musical perspective in the industry and what we noticed, Snoop was the bigger artist. Snoop had the bigger draw.
And so,
Absolutely.
That's one reason why I bring the question up, because that's why he's never on my top. He's not like in my top 10 of artists because of that. There are other artists that were bigger than him or rap better than him. To me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I hear people, why Tupac ain't on your list? I got way other rappers that were better than him. To me, but like when I saw that question about who was bigger, I was like, you know what? Because I think people forget about Snoop because he don't even be on a lot of people's lists either. And this nigga make it relevant.
No. Yeah, I think that's a big miss for people not to have Snoop on that list, because
he don't be on people's top 10.
And like I don't know why he wouldn't be. So let's go back in time real quick. But I think here's the problem. Here's probably the reason why that is. People are just now knowing how influential Snoop was in music because of him being able to tell those stories and other people telling those stories and that information being available now. No. Stay with me. No, hold up.
When that nigga said,
hold up.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. See, I knew.
I know, but stay with me. Now, because we get to see and hear the stories and learn, and the younger generation understands, like, this dude, wait a minute. So this person wrote this, and Snoop wrote this when he was 15, 16, 17. This man wrote this when he was 16 years old, and this junk still bumping to this day, like, for real. So when he was able to explain that, because even for me, I always had that respect for Snoop in that aspect, but learning more about him as a kid, he was producing music and putting Warren G was making music, iconic music. Them cats was making iconic music in their teenage years, okay? When they was 16, 17 years old, they was making music that still gets played today. When he did Deep Cover, like, first of all, the Deep Cover beat was so stupid. The beat was so crazy. So when I heard Snoop on Deep Cover, I was like, hold up, bro. First of all, who is this dude?
Dude, that was the hardest
and this
song
man here sound like and he sound like a country dude. Like, he sound like a country rapper. Like, he sound like he was kind of from the South. Like, listen to him rap. You know what I'm saying? You heard that West Coast, but you like, man, he got that little country thing going on. You know what I'm saying? But then that first album, dude, classic right off the bat. Like, it was no question about it. Classic right off the bat. I ain't never heard him. He ain't never, in my opinion, I ain't never heard a bad song with him on it, like, ever.
Ever. Even
not one.
Ever.
Like he always kill it. Like, I ain't seen him lack on not one song.
Every song he rap on, it sound like that nigga crip walking. Every song he rapping on, he sound like he in the studio crip walking the whole time.
Yeah. That's like, and he had that appeal. He had that public appeal. You know what I'm saying? He had that public appeal. And he was able to do that even though he had some outside stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? He got in some trouble and stuff outside. But if you take all that away, Snoop is still just as great. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. He didn't even, like, there's certain artists, we wouldn't even be talking about them. And I'm not talking about Pac. I'm saying it's several artists that if it wasn't for their outside antics and stuff that they got in trouble and all that, we wouldn't even be mentioning them. At all. They wouldn't be great. But it was because all he got into
don't be on my list. That's why them niggas don't be on my list. With Snoop, the other thing is, do you realize this nigga has reinvented himself like
probably six, seven times. He in life, yeah. He
reinvented himself by becoming a No Limit soldier and started rapping like down south with the down south twang and shit a little bit.
Yep.
Then nigga went back and started rapping with Pharrell, come out with the Beautiful song.
Yep.
That shit was hard as fuck.
Yep.
And then flipped the shit and came back with the
Yep.
That shit. That shit was hard as fuck.
Yep.
I don't know, man. That, like, I think a lot of people.
Then, check it out. Then he did the Snoop line. He did the Snoop, the reggae. He did the reggae joint.
Yeah, Snoop Lion. Snoop Lion.
Then the man did no. Then he did a gospel album.
He did do one. He did get away with this.
He did the gospel.
We swept that joint under the rug. Ain't nobody talked about it, but yeah, he did get away with one of them. Yeah. And this nigga doing Dorito commercials with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Which might,
Talking about green.
which might I add, I do have a little crush on Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart be getting busy, man. I follow her on Instagram and all that other type of shit, man. She she dope, man. If you really follow her, she dope as fuck, man.
Yeah.
You got to start following her.
What Hope say?
You know what? I want to smash Martha.
What Hope say? What Hope say? The Martha Stewart that's far from Jewish, not from Harvard too, but had the balls to do it.
She did.
Yeah.
And I understand why Snoop fuck with her. They're like, they tight for real. Like, you see,
right.
Like, I understand why. Like, she fuck with, like, yeah. She
a hustler.
Hustler, chief.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect this shit. Follow Martha Stewart. Hey, okay, so I got this question. I had this question I had been meaning to ask, but I wanted to ask the last part, but I forgot. But I'm asking now. Do you think your son will ever cheat?
Hold up, women on what, like on his girlfriend or something like that?
Yes.
Probably so, yeah.
How would you handle this? How would you handle this situation? The only reason why I'm asking that, and the context of it is like a lot of times, like when you have a single family home, I guess you could say. Maybe not. Father may not be in this situation all the time. How that situation is viewed, is viewed as if it shouldn't happen. You get what I'm saying? And it happened.
Help me understand. What you mean?
All right. So if you are, I've seen in several occasions on social media so far where women have been saying that, like, if their son is caught cheating, then they would say that that's like they would go in because they were speaking on it where they were reiterating their trauma and bitterness onto their son. When in actuality,
based on something
that has happened to them. And they're speaking on it like it's a bad thing, this, that, and the other. But this is how boys grow up to learn what they like and what they don't like. So I'm asking you, how would you treat that?
Well, so just for a little bit of context, have you
ever cheated?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. What I mean by that is, how would you treat the situation of your son cheating on a girlfriend or him being?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said for a context. Are we talk? Prior to marriage? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Him, like, if he's what becomes. That's why I said. Does he is?
I ain't talking about like he married. We ain't talking
teenage years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Your son growing up. How would you treat it?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about marriage.
No, that's not an abnormal thing. Like, that's not an abnormal thing for boys or girls. You know what I'm saying? That's not a normal thing either on both sides. It's not. They just don't talk about it and they keep the secrets very well. I know that for a fact. And because I have daughters as well, I'm using a balanced approach to that because girls cheat too, women cheat too. In high school, in college, in early 20s, or all of that, they little girls trip weekends and stuff like that they go on. The little dudes that they hang out with at work or whatever that they creep with every now and then, whether they do it every weekend or once a year, it's still the same. It's still cheating. They do it too. You know what I'm saying? They're not. There's no separation of the two. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times with young boys, the fact that young boys don't know how to use self-control when it pertains to that. So the way I would deal with it, and the way I'm going to deal with it, if that situation ever happens, is that, hey man, like, if you don't want to be in a committed relationship, you need to say that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to date several women, just say, hey, I want to date several women, until you get to the point where you're able to handle being in a monogamous relationship. And that's an important conversation for fathers to have with their sons, so they don't wind up making the same mistakes or being in the same situations that we were. And that's a good conversation to have. Like, hey, if you don't want to date this girl seriously, don't tell her that. Like, if that ain't what's in your head, tell her that. You know what I'm saying? Be real with her about it. Don't be afraid to lose her, or don't be afraid of that situation. Because what happens is you're going to make things harder for yourself by trying to have her, a little junk on the side, another little junk you're trying to talk to, or whatever the case is. Just say, hey, I want to date, and I want to date you and somebody else. Like, just go and say that off the bat. Let her choose and let her decide if that's the type of situation that she want to be in. And that's easy for everybody. The problem is we learn that later in life versus early in life. Right. And so instead of an old head or our dads or uncles or whoever having that conversation with us, they just be like, well, y'all just need to be committed to one girl, or they don't have that conversation at all. But when you're 19, 20 years old, you have raging hormones, you get attention from north, south, east, and west. It's difficult for you to focus on one lady. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you can't focus long. And if you do focus at a particular time, you have to really be dialed into her to be able to do that. Because it's going to come up at some point in time. The temptation will happen at some point.
The reason why I'm saying it, because I think a lot of times it's not even talked about to the point where, like, it happens or it's going to happen.
Right.
And I think this conversation really needs to be had instead of being swept under the rug, like, because this is a bump in the road, an obstacle that you are going to have. You're going to cheat. You're going to have this mistake in your life. Both parties.
Right.
So, or just like you said, just being mindful of letting a person know what you like, what you don't like, and letting a boy know, hey, don't be afraid to lose her. Because a lot of times we keep silent because we think the girl is gonna leave it alone. Hey, I don't like when your breath smells like this. I don't like when you eat Funyuns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't say shit like that, she gonna keep eating Funyuns.
Right. So because people are afraid, because think about it. People are afraid of the unknown. So they would rather be quiet about something and hope that it gets better and hope that it beats better or hope that it works out, instead of saying, hey, I want this to work out, so this is what I'm going to do to make sure it does. Or, hey, check this out. This is what I want to do. Because nobody wants to feel like they're rejecting somebody, or nobody wants to feel like they've been rejected. That's what people fear a lot of times, is rejection. So automatically, when they feel rejected, they lash out. Well, what's wrong with me? And da-da-da. It ain't necessarily you. It's just because I want other options, or I want to do other things that don't involve you. And it ain't about you personally. It's about what I like and don't like. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes that conversation just needs to be had. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The only reason why I ask you that is because I think that's something that a lot of us as guys don't admit to. You know what I'm talking about? I think guys get rejected 5 to 10 times more than women do throughout their lifetime. Yeah. Nigga, we get
For
rejected
various
every day. Nigga, do you know you get rejected from your girlfriend? You get rejected from
Yeah.
your wife. So
Exactly. Yeah. So
it's like,
you used to it.
yeah,
Like,
we get rejected all the time. Fuck out of here.
yeah. That's why I don't be. I'm like, I don't be bothered with that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Because you're not really worried about a rejection as much when you got plenty of options. But when you feel like you don't have options, that's when rejection bothers you the most.
And I think at that point in time, it's just because you don't want to be lonely now. Usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. How do you
That's a great question.
how do you view cheating?
Well, I don't think it's right. It happens, but I don't think it's right. And I think when you get to a certain age, there's ways to prevent it by just telling the person that you're dealing with what you want and don't want and leaving it at that. You know what I'm saying?
But even then, I think it still happens though. Even if you say what you want and don't want.
It can't happen if you ain't committed. No, that ain't cheap. If you ain't committed, if you ain't promised them nothing, they ain't promised you. Absolutely. No, sir. No. And that's the misconception. That's a great misconception. If you tell somebody, we ain't in nothing serious, we ain't whatever. If you're dating and you're dating several, now I say several, if you just dating more than that one person, no, that's not cheap. No, it's not. It's only when you're in a committed monogamous relationship. And then people, and let me say this, it's only when you have committed to that person and you're in a monogamous relationship with that person. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, what I'm referring to is you're still like if you tell a person what you like and don't like, and you're in this relationship and you still don't get it, that person still goes out and cheat. No, you don't think so?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all in a committed monogamous relationship. You see what I'm saying? If y'all in something committed and monogamous and y'all have made an agreement to be with each other and they decide to go out and do something else, yeah. Or you decide to go out and do something else, yeah. But if y'all ain't in that, no, you do what you want to.
How do you work around that if it's something that you're not receiving and you're tempted on going out though?
Man, you just, at this point in time, I'm going to say at 41-year-old me, you just tell them. Because from my perspective, and I'm going to share this, dude, I've been divorced. I done lost it all. I don't care about losing no girlfriend or no lady. I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My kids don't sleep at the same house with me every night. So losing somebody I'm talking to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Brian lost a house, cars. Like, okay. Like, somebody I'm talking to and cool to, okay. You want to get ghosts? All right, fine. I may like you and may think you cool, and it may be like, man, I really did like you, but come on, bro.
You might be fucked up about it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might be, yeah, because you like that person, but as far as like it affecting you to the point where you ain't gonna get up the next morning and go try it again. Like, nah, man. Like when you get to a certain age, that stuff don't even be as important. You know what I'm saying? And it's different if you feel like that person is the one. Like that's the one. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like that's the one, like, oh no, that's who I'm supposed to be with, that's the one, then it's a different ball game. But if it's somebody you cool with, you dating, you having a good time with, or whatever the case is, if they decide to walk away, it ain't really nothing you can do about it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I don't be understanding why people be so salty because somebody said they don't want to talk to them no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be understanding that. You don't belong to people. Like, you ain't property. Like, you can't tell somebody where they can and can't go. If they hit you up and be like, I can't do this no more, you got to understand that and keep it moving.
Some of us feel like that we are for everybody. And that's impossible if you really think about it. You cannot be compatible or made for everybody.
No,
Somebody is gonna
no.
dislike you. Somebody is going to,
Thank
and
you.
if they like you, it's because you have become something that you are not for this
Right.
person.
That you are not for them. Thank you. That's a whole different podcast right there. That's a
So
whole
yeah,
different.
yeah,
And you can only keep up that facade for so long. You can only keep that fraud up for so long because you ain't gonna be comfortable.
true.
You know what I'm saying? You just doing that just because you feel like you trying to get that person. But that's what happened a lot of time in relationships. People do stuff in the beginning just to get the person, knowing they can't keep that up, and then they be trying to figure out why it don't last because you ain't still playing that role no more. You don't went from being Fred Hampton to being Wild Bill.
Hey man, I don't think you can ever. Yeah, you can, if you are a Fred Hampton, I don't think you can become an O'Neal. I don't think that's possible. It will not. I put like this: if you are able to become an O'Neal, O'Neal has always been in you. You've never been.
Man, you been up, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You've been O'Neal the whole time. You just played Fred Hampton just to get in there.
Man, you playing a Fred Hampton good in the motherfucker though. Damn, man. But it is niggas out there like this. There's niggas out there like this.
Yeah.
Man. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yeah.
keep your ass away from me if you like that, man.
Man, hey, for real, dog. I don't stay away from me, Judas. Cause I got something for you. Stay away from me.
I put like this.
Stay away from me.
People who I say that I fuck with, that I actually fuck with, that I actually check on, shit like that. That means something to me, man. Like I really fuck with you. You know what I'm talking about? And if you like that, if you do that shit, do you know how hurtful that shit is?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But see, it's always got to be a motive. It's always a motive. You know what I'm saying? There's always a motive.
That is a big ass fucking motive for you to, like, I put like this, for men. For men.
Yeah. Yeah.
That loyalty thing, like that loyalty thing is attached to that feeling of your feeling being hurt.
Right.
When that loyalty, I want to say that loyalty hurt worse.
Yeah.
Your partner snitching on you, your partner stabbing you in your back. That shit, I think that shit hurt worse. You be like, man, this nigga got it.
Right.
Boy. Yeah.
I've been there. But the problem is, though, I blame that on myself because I didn't see it. But then when I started looking at it, I saw it. I was like, oh, you know what? I already saw this. I just chose to ignore it for the sake of brotherhood or friendship. You know what I'm saying? I just ignored it, and I should have been paying attention to it.
Do you continue to ignore things now, or do you?
Man, no. So don't. No, sir. No, I do not. I done paid that price and learned that lesson. I passed that test. I ain't gonna take that one no more. Gotcha. Nope. Gotcha. Nah. When I see it, like, and I'm not saying just seeing, people do their thing, but like when I see that type of behavior with them type of tendencies and stuff like that, nah, we cut that out right there at the beginning. We cut the head off that snake right there. Matter of fact, we cut the head and the tail off, and the middle part of the body too. Put that junk in the fire and burn it.
You bring it to the attention, or you just be like, you know what, it ain't even worth bringing it up. You just be ghost.
Sometimes.
Ghost.
Yep. Sometimes it ain't even, especially if you don't have a relationship with that person. Sometimes if you don't have a relationship with that person, you just be like, oh, okay, I see what you are. Go ahead on about your business. You know what I'm saying? And you just cut off access because that's power.
Even if you do got a relationship, some people just, even if you do got the relationship, some people still don't receive that well. Like, hey man, you doing this, that, and other.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You just decide how you deal with it. You know, you can address it or you don't have to. You just cut. You still using power either way. It's the power to cut off, or it's the power to address and let them respond and say, "Okay, man, I was wrong for that. I shouldn't have done it." Da 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 da. You still gonna look at them sideways, depending on the situation. Still gonna look at them sideways, but sometimes it's just gonna be like, "Hey, I just felt like I need to address it." You stay on your side of the road, I'm stay on mine, and you go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? And I done had to do that too. So, you know, and I'm good with it. Like, I'm cool with it.
I don't know, man. You say that. I don't know if I'm cool with it though. Cause the whole time, like, what I mean by I don't think I'm cool with it, the whole time I'm thinking back, like, man, this nigga been this way this whole time. They don't fuck with you like that?
I mean, true. I don't mess with me because that's my fault. That's my fault. That ain't his. That's my fault. I should have saw it. You know what I'm saying? I should have saw this. That's my fault. You know what I'm saying? That's my fault. I should have been paying attention. It was something that I missed that allowed somebody to get that close to me to be able to take advantage of me. That's my fault. There's weakness on my behalf. So I take responsibility for that. Now, after I take responsibility for not seeing what you were, now I got to put the onus on you for you showing up the way you showed up. And we could deal with it two ways. I can either talk to you about it, I can cut you off, one of the two. Now, if it had been some years ago, it probably would have been a little more action behind it. But right now, being faulted, it ain't worth all it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. You just gonna send somebody on about that way.
Man, we got so enamored talking about snakes and everything like that. I forgot to ask you about your Valentine's Day and shit. How'd this shit go?
That went cool, man. Didn't do nothing.
You got your red on. You
cool.
Look like you still celebrating.
Nah, partner, this is Alabama, man. Always Alabama, man. Nah, man. How was yours, man? Did you do anything?
I told you, man. I'm still out here thotting in these streets. You wanted to move the town early. I was like, hey, man, hey. I'm trying to be a stop. Nigga. I'm still celebrating, nigga. Shit. I'm playing
My bad, bro. My bad, bro. My bad, bro. My bad. I ain't trying to cut the thought time off, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to cut it off, bro.
I'm like, hey, I still got more time. But it was pretty cool. It wasn't nothing really. I mean, when you get older, man, there ain't really too much.
Yeah.
Ain't too much shaking. It's like,
yeah.
You want to sit and watch. What was that movie? What was it? Malcolm and Marie, that new movie. I was like, nah, baby, we can't watch it. I can't do it. We watch a lot of movies, baby. I can't do it. No, This just looked like it was some trash. But it was pretty cool. We sit around, Netflix, chill, watch the snowfall, the actual snowfall, which is pretty dope. Right. Memphis, I know we talked earlier, Memphis really hasn't seen this much fucking snow ever.
Right.
And we can't enjoy this so fucking cold, man. We can't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's too cold. Yeah. Nah,
nigga, I told you earlier, I was outside trying to take some pictures. I almost lost my thumbs. My thumbs was literally like changing color. They were like it was almost like a purple color right where I was pressing the button, I was like, oh shit. Man, hell no.
Yep. I'm telling you, that's even with gloves on.
And you know what? I gotta invest in gloves. I'm one of them. I'm a nigga. Niggas don't got gloves. What nigga you know that got gloves? We got hoodie pockets. We got pockets. I ain't got no gloves, so I was like, I need some gloves. How you got the gloves?
I got like 3 pair, but I got them just because I use them when I'm cutting yards and stuff.
They mechanic style gloves though, right? They ain't no the fur lining gloves.
I had to wear 3 pairs of them. Oh man.
But back to the Valentine, I see a whole lot of Bob Humbugs motherfuckers out there, boy.
It's always gonna be that. It's always gonna be that. You already know that's gonna happen. Bob Humbugs.
I need to come out with a bitter Valentine's Day card, like some negative Valentine's Day cards. Hey, have a card like, oh, so that's your Valentine.
Could have been me, but it wasn't. Happy Valentine's Day.
Right. Fuck your Valentine's Day. Shit. All of this shit. Man, it's some upset people, boy. It's some upset people, boy.
It sure will. But it was cool though, man. Didn't do nothing. Just chill. You know what I mean? Same old. Trying to stay out the way, man. Trying to stay out of the way. Shout out to all the couples, non-couples. If you couple, not a couple, whatever. Happy Valentine's, post-Valentine's, snowed in, all that. You know,
definitely.
All that. Yeah, man. I ain't bothered about it either way. You got somebody cool, you don't cool, be happy with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like either way. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know, man. This has been a long snow in. You say it's cool. Some people are upset right now. Some people are really upset. They've been stuck in the house since Friday and can't get no visitors.
Mad too, boy. Mad. And them little rose things ain't working like they supposed to.
Cause there's some niggas that want to take a chance. Hey, you gotta think about this. It's a nigga that want to take a chance, but he like, I don't want to get stuck over this bitch.
Hey,
he's
scared. Yep. His phone blowing up. He can't answer the phone. He can't do no video call. He can't do none of that shit. Cause he ain't at home. Hey, why every time I'm on the call with you, you in the car? I'm stranded in my car. You know what I'm saying? I'm just out here in this junk, man. I've been sitting in the car, man. I'm out here.
Where you at? Man.
I'm out in front of my cousin's house. There's too many people in there for me to be talking all on the phone and stuff. I don't want nobody in my business.
Man, make your decisions. Why with this snow out here, man?
Man, for real. For real, man.
Cause you got the snow and the COVID.
Yeah. God, this is snow it.
My dog be looking at me crazy like,
snow it 21.
My dog be looking at me crazy like, I don't know about going outside, man. Shit. But
man, for real, man.
I guess we can go ahead and wrap this joint up. I don't know how long we've been on this shit.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
You know,
I think maybe a little longer. Nah, it's been 2 hours. It's been 2. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we close though, Go ahead. I
Go
had
ahead.
one last little comment.
Go ahead.
Now, I just wanted to say, I continue to shout out any and everybody that engages with us on social media. I appreciate it. That share thoughts, that laugh at the posts, whatever. Y'all are important. Y'all mean a lot
Nigga, and
to
you a
us.
fucking
I just
fool
want to
that
say,
beat your meat shit. I'm like, this nigga, bro, you beating your meat and going to sleep, my nigga. For real. Is this what we doing on
hey,
social
man.
media, nigga?
Hey, look here, dog. Hey, we grown, man. And not to mention, I didn't say it. I just used the emojis for it. So if you understood it, that means you knew what it was about. You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was. So come on. Like, what you talking about?
I knew what it was, yes, but I was like, this nigga. Oh my God.
Hey, man, you know,
but
it is what it is, man.
so many chicks that chimed in, I'm like, this nigga here.
Exactly. Exactly. They know what it is. They know what it is.
But I'm like, my thing is,
they know about the tenderizing the meat.
my thing is, if the ladies is chiming in, you should be trying to assist with tenderizing the meat.
Who should be?
They should be if they're chiming in.
How you know they ain't?
Meat tenderizer it is, face ass. This nigga has meat tenderizers. I ain't got you.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Looking ass nigga.
No, I don't. I think it's time. I think it's time for us to stop. It's time for us to close. That's too. No, we ain't doing none of that. I don't do that. Don't buy tenderize my meat.
Nigga, you gotta meat tenderize. You gotta meat tenderize.
Nah, I'm straight.
Nope,
I'm good.
You got tenderized on. You know what? You got tenderized on Valentine's Day. You was a tender.
Nah, son. Not your boy. Not your boy. Wasn't me. Maybe somebody else, but not me. There was no tenderizing going on Valentine's Day for me. Not at all. No. Maybe for someone else, but not for me. No. Not at all. Not on your life.
What are you trying to do? What is this?
It's Rondell Hadlington.
This nigga gives the government that I don't know who the fuck it is.
This the fake Denzel Washington. That's the fake Denzel Washington.
The only fake Denzel Washington I know is Blair Underwood.
Oh man.
That nigga Denzel Washington light. When they can't afford Denzel Washington, they get Blair Underwood for shit.
Man, you stupid, dog. You stupid.
Just look at every movie that Blair Underwood has been in, and you can be like, you know what? Denzel Washington could have fit this movie, but he wasn't.
You know who tries to sound like him though? Who? Richard T. Jones tries to sound like him. Richard T. Jones tries to sound like him.
Yeah, you see.
The dude that played in the dude that played in what is it? Why Did I Get Married? He played the ex-husband, Jill Scott ex-husband.
Oh, that dickhead. Man, I can't stand that nigga. That nigga play a dickhead in every movie. I mean, big time dickhead too. Like, ain't no reason to be this big of a dickhead. The way that nigga was in that movie, I'm like, dude, there is no reason to be this level of a dickhead.
No.
You make
not at all.
Get off the plane.
Yep.
And don't go off with your wife. You're like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, dude, he always playing some
And you know she
crazy
was a
stuff.
gobbler. You know she was a gobbler. She looked like she was a gobbler. I ain't finna treat my gobbler like this. I'm not going to treat my gobbler like this. I'm sorry. I am sorry. And people
You
know,
a fool, bro.
people
You a
know,
fool,
people
bro.
who listen to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I am not going to treat. We know you can look at Jill Scott's character in that movie and know she was a gobbler. I'm not gonna treat her like this for some old skinny ass bitch that I'm trying to get some pussy from. No, that's my dude. She treating your prized possession like the best thing in the world. No, no, no. That's why I couldn't respect that nigga in the movie. Nigga, you treating your gobbler like that, man? Nah, nah.
The gobbler deserves respect.
The gobbler deserves a lot of respect. A lot of respect. I'm just saying, the gobbler deserves a lot of respect. The gobbler, when you have a stressful day and you don't feel like smashing,
I was finna say something, but I ain't even gonna say it. I'm just be
go
quiet.
ahead. Go ahead.
If there are any gobblers watching, you can hit myself or Jay up Instagram.
On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all over wherever you social media.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's enough.
Especially if you do not get. Hey, you gonna be like Suge Knight. Hey, if you don't get respect, come to death row. Come to death row.
Hey, look. If you
boy.
tired of dudes always neglecting you, didn't get you enough of Valentine's Day, all on your social media, all in the TikTok videos, always in your mentions, come to Off on the Tangent podcast.
Gobblers are respected here. Gobblers are respected here.
All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
I like that advertisement, sir.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this John up. This episode will be called
Everybody
Gobblers.
No, it won't. No, don't call it gobblers. Don't call it gobblers. Don't call it gobblers. That's a side note. That's a side note. We're talking about I don't know what we'll call it. We'll call it something that's got to do with the movie. So, but again, man, shout out to oh my God, what was the guy's name, man? Anyway, shout out to
the dude played the Messiah or the Keith Stanford.
No. The directors, the producers, everybody.
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler. Yeah. And Shaka.
Hey, anything that nigga come out with, I'm watching. Ryan Coogler has been making the best, dopest movies so far. Best movie out right now.
Absolutely. So shout out to the whole entire cast, crew,
and
production,
HBO Max
and everything, man. Yeah, absolutely.
HBO Max doing their thing, man.
Yeah.
All these little movies coming out. So yeah.
One quick thing before we go though, gotta give a major shout out to the GOAT Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has full control of his show, his name, all of his rights to everything. I think that deserves a round of applause around the globe, especially in our community as well. Absolutely. For Dave being able to pull that off. He stuck to his guns. He didn't sell out. He took the L's.
The nigga said, thank you, I don't have to suck dick for it.
He said, y'all the reason why I don't know what they taste like.
Y'all are the reason why I don't know what dicks taste like. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Man, shout out to him, man. Chappelle Show. You know, Chappelle Show's on Netflix now, man. Exclusively Netflix. Well, not exclusively. It's available on other platforms, but actually the release of the new show is going to be on Netflix.
Everything goes to him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. So shout out to Dave Chappelle, man. Shout out to him for sure.
That's dope. Where do I get to see that whole special that he did? Is that only on his Instagram? On his store? On his?
No, it's on his IG page. Yeah, because he puts out his. See, that's the funny thing about him. He's putting out his own stuff on his IG. So it goes on his IG first. He'll put it out if it's like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. He puts it on there. He posts it himself on there. And then everybody else picks it up. And it goes out, disseminates everywhere else. So he put it on his IG. It's called Redemption Song.
Okay. So is that on his story or is that like a reel?
No, it's posted on his page. And it's on a reel too, but he posted it on his page because I reposted it. I reposted it in my stories the other day. So it's called Redemption Song. You should check it out. Is
it on like 10 minutes? Or how long is it?
Yes, it's probably about 6 or 7 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I did see the whole thing then. Because I thought I saw it, but I felt like it wasn't enough. So I felt like I just watched a snippet. So I'm going to check and see if I get to see the whole thing. But I try not to miss anything Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle always dropping some jewels or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and wrap this joint up. I don't think I have anything else. Have you seen WandaVision?
No, I'm not really interested in it.
I wasn't either, but it's starting to get good now. Once I started seeing other people talk about it, I was like, no, I couldn't get past looking at the Brady Bunch shit. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, once you understand, it's some other shit going on. So it's like, all right, I guess I have to watch it. So I'll
check it out.
Watch it. I'll say this: watch it after episode 3.
Okay.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 is trash. So 4 starts breaking other information in. You're like, oh, okay, all right. Cause that first 3 episodes, I was like, I don't want to watch this shit. This shit dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's if you're into the Marvel superhero stuff.
Right.
But yeah, we can go ahead and wrap up. I think I've rambled enough. We've rambled enough. I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It. I heard thought in these streets at a remote location.
And I am Ivan the Great. And I am at home gonna eat me some cabbage.
That's all, man?
I don't thought nothing. That's it, man. That's all I need, man.
You be thotting. You just don't do. Yeah. All right. You be thotting. You just locked in the house right now. It just don't happen.
Face it.
Looking at ass, nigga.
No, sir. There's no thought. It's time to eat. A little rest. See what we got to do for this week. So.
You just eating cabbage, man? Nothing else?
Yes, sir. I don't need nothing else, man. Just cabbage. Just cabbage.
You can add some whole cakes or something to it.
Nah, I'm good.
And people, whole cakes is cornbread. It's just the hot water cornbread around the corner, just in case people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that is Ivan the Grizzly, the Greats. We are the Off on a Tangent podcast, episode 72, and we about this junts. Holla. Empower.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.